Derivation and structure. Let's now throw light on these two aspects. Having considered the issue of lexical storage of derived forms, let's go back to the notion of derivation and structure. We can schematize derivation as follows. Input goes into output. So lexeme X, we have a lexeme S, X, so it makes lexeme Y. If we can have lexeme X and as an input and can have Y as an output, so why not Y can become input and we can have a Z output. So input, output, lexeme Y become lexeme Z. This is precisely what we do when we form words like unfriendly. So function 1 is add ly to friend and make it friendly, and function 2 add un to friendly to make it unfriendly. Even unfriendly can be made a noun, so we can add ness to form it unfriendliness. So you see that how with the help of an input X we got a Y output, and then the Y output served us as input and we got a Z output. So this is very common process which we do while creating new words. In each case, the output of one derivation serves as the input for the next. To determine the order of functions leading to a form, it helps to consider other words that contain the same parts. You see that we just did friend and added ly and then un and then ness. So it was done in a certain order. So with the help of this, we can know that the same function can be applicable to form other words. So let's look at un attached to nouns only in exceptional cases, right? Cola that was used in an advertisement by a beverages industry. It regularly attaches to adjective, unable, for example. We use this fact in determining that the function add ly, which form adjectives, must come before the function add un. The fact that speakers of many languages can add phonological material to either end of a word sometimes leads to complex structure. So when they add some affixes to the end, it makes a complex structure of the word. Let's take two examples from English: reinterpretation and post-structuralist. So what was the process? What functions were performed in order to get these two words, because they are complex words and they have gone through certain changes. So these words have the following structure. For example, we had interpret as a verb, right? So we added re to it and to make it reinterpret. Its prefix was added to make it reinterpret. So we got reinterpret as a verb, and then we added the noun suffixation to make it reinterpretation. So this is how we took three steps: function 1, function 2, and function 3. Similarly, we had structure, right? Structure is a noun. We added ly to make it adjective, structural. Again, we added is to make it an adjective, structuralist, right? So we had structuralist, and then we added post as a prefix to make it post-structuralist. So this is how we got these words, these two words gone through these process, that at which stage affix was added and which stage a prefix was added. A tells us that the reinterpretation is the act of reinterpreting from interpret, not re-act of interpreting, because we know that re was attached later on. We start out with a verb, interpret, form a new verb, via the prefix re, and finally form a noun by adding the noun suffix ation, right? So generally we can see it in a tree diagram. Noun that has a verb, reinterpret, and then we added the noun suffix to make it reinterpretation. Combining prefixation and suffixation leads to other potentially ambiguous forms in English. So we keep on adding prefix or suffix to certain words, but sometimes we come to certain words which are ambiguous, which can have double meaning. Though we are very sure about what do they mean, but even then, when we look at their morphology, how the affixations have taken place, we get some ambiguity in these things. For example, three of these ambiguous words are undress, unpacked, and unzipped, right? So un is prefix un has at least two distinct roles in English depending on what it attaches to. We just say that un attaches to adjective, and it also attaches to verb, as we've just seen, to past participles especially. When a prefix to a verb un is a so-called reversative with the basic meaning undo the action of the verb. So for example, if there is a verb and we have added un, so it makes that to undo the action of the x, or the, if it is a verb, of the verb. So let's look at how does it mean. If you unpack a suitcase, you return the suitcase to the state it was in before the packing action took place. When attached to adjectives, including participle adjectives like wounded or stress, un means not, because here we cannot say that undo the action of the word. For example, in case of wounded, we cannot say undo the action of the verb, or undo the action of the stress or wounded, because there was no wound before. So simply here it means not wounded. If you untie a package, you return it to the state it was in prior to being tied. So with these, this is possible, but not with everyone. We have to see that un used with as a prefix with verbs and with adjectives has two meaning. One meaning, undo the action of the verb, and second meaning, that it simply is used for not the action. I mean, not plus the action or adjective. That means that the certain things does not exist anymore. So these are some structures of the word, and they give us new meaning or new words morphology, that is derivational. So we have discussed different words formation processes, like back formation, like clipping, like compounding, and we see that how words are derived from each other, from different languages, from different parts of the same words of the same languages.